My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was getting frustrated by your forms. Now, Taxes is uploading your forms with a snap, and a TurboTax expert will do your taxes for you. One who's backed by the latest tech, which cross-checks millions of data points for absolute accuracy, all of which makes it easy for you to get the most money back, guaranteed. Get an expert now at TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
So good, so good, so good.
Just in and so good. Thousands of spring finds up to 70% off are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. And that means thousands of fresh reasons to rack.
How did I not know Rack has Adidas?
Vince, Calvin Klein, Rag & Bone?
Obsessed.
Why do we rack? For the hottest deals.
Save on Madewell, Kate Spade New York, Sam Edelman, Joe's, and more. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
Barenaked, 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 ABCs. There, now I'm recording.
One of us.
Okay, I got that bumped all the way up. Good. Okay. All right. I gotta shrink this. No, shrinking the wrong window. No, damn it.
Are you vanishing?
Oh, nice pun. I understood that reference.
No.
Now you get more references.
It's true. I know I missed a bunch that I, in retrospect, have been like, oh, yeah.
You go back and listen to the old episodes, you're like, oh, fuck, he was punning all over the place.
It's all there.
Making it rain puns.
I don't think I need to sync it up. I can sync it up another way. We don't need to do the clap.
Okay.
No clap. What if we just want to encourage you?
That is fine. You may always encourage
golf
me.
clap. Golf clap.
I warn you.
You. Yeah.
I was going to say I warn you from doing so, though. It is not a safe
Caution.
All right. Welcome to the Barenaked ABCs, where we discuss every single Barenaked Lady song from 7 to Y. And this week you can blame it on men, or you can blame it on me. No, that's blame it on the no, that's the wrong album.
You can blame it on the rain.
But this week we're going to discuss BLAMen, or as many people know it, Are Me, Are Men. Or Barenaked Ladies Are Me, Barenaked Ladies Are Men. No, Barenaked Ladies aren't men. No, they are men, but it depends. Sometimes they can be men. Anyways, this is all confusing. Why am I recording tonight?
Well, to review the dual album.
Well, we need
that's right.
Yeah, we need to serve up quality here.
Yeah.
But hold on. Let's calm down.
Wait, if you're looking for quality, if you're looking for quality, it's something you may never find.
We're just here to listen to the sound of your voice.
Oh my god!
Tracy.
If we don't get this episode started, we're gonna have a lot of angry people on our.
We have 29 puns we can go with here. Like, we're going to be here a while. You know what? And if we're not careful, one little slip, and it's just, we're going to keep falling into the discussion.
We're going to do a 29 pun salute.
Nope. One and only.
Oh, nice.
All right.
You make it look so easy.
But I make it hurt so good. Oh, wait, wrong album. All right, taking it home from here, I'm going to take us back to the subject and have us discuss this. Well, is it a double album or two single albums? What is this quagmire?
Giggity.
I I love it. I would dare say this is the Kill Bill of Bare Naked Ladies.
Volume 1, Volume 2. Yeah, I always viewed it as a double album, but
It should have been a double
like
album.
It's 1 3/4 album, kind of time-wise, anyway.
So this album was set to release. This album set released as the most chaotic in the band's history, and it really spoke to the fact that they were now publishing on their own, and they really didn't know what they were doing. I want to go into the chaos that was this double single album problem. They had a lot of great ideas and they decided to do them all, which is never a good idea. So one of their ideas was to do USB drives that they sold at concerts, which had a whole bunch of extras on them, as well as the songs for these albums. Now, that's not a bad idea by itself. But then there was also we'll test out one song of the new album at every single concert on the tour before we release this album, to bring up the hype.
I see.
Also a cool idea. Everyone got a taste of the new album. Although, there were some people that got the new Sad as their taste, which is great, but I don't think that's exactly a great new taste for this album.
It's a heavy taste, yeah.
Yeah. Go on by our album. It's all depressing and slow. And then there was the 7 different ways that they released this album. And that's not counting the USB stick that I already said. So there was the 13-track Bare Naked Ladies Are Me, the 16-track Bare Naked Ladies Are Men, the 14-track Bare Naked Ladies Are Me Starbucks exclusive pre-release.
In Canada.
In Canada. The 25-track Bare Naked Ladies Are Me Deluxe Edition 2 CD version containing both albums plus without the 4 bonus tracks. Then there was the 29-track Bare Naked Ladies Are Me Deluxe Edition 5.1 DVD audio that had the extra 4 bonus tracks. But we're not done yet. I feel like I'm a K-Tel
But wait, there's
Records.
more. You're like Billy Mays over there.
We'll also throw in for you. There was the digital releases. There was the 13-track Bare Naked Ladies Are Me download that had 2 bonus tracks if you bought the whole album together. There was the 25-track Bare Naked Ladies Are Me Deluxe Edition with 2 extra bonus tracks if you bought the whole album. And then there was the 16-track Bare Naked Ladies Are Men.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Matter of fact, it was so much that iTunes really fucked up. So on August 17th, iTunes accidentally released the standard edition of the album, plus the 4 associated bonus tracks on some of their music stores. And for just 12 hours, the album was available to buy in a single track form. So you got all 17 tracks buying 1 track.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
And on September 2nd, they made the same exact mistake for the 29-track pre-sale deluxe edition. And when they messed that one up, it was up for 2.5 days before they fixed it.
Damn.
Wow.
Guys, when you decide to do too many things at once, you fuck people up. But that's
can't be everything to everyone.
But then there's more.
No.
Yeah.
There was the remix contest, for the 6 songs.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it started off with a lot of fervor. And then it got whittled away little by little. The band said that ultimately they were going to select the winners to be included on a special EP whose proceeds would go to charity. They announced it on an interview and then nothing came from it.
That's too bad.
Then That was the all-new review concert and special album release of the acoustic covers of this song. And originally, they were going to do all 29 songs in concert acoustically, and then they decided it was not possible. And that was after they announced they were going to do this. So they just did the original Barenaked Ladies Are Me album acoustically. And then they were like, well, we're not going to release that. Ultimately, it became the primary album, as it became the bonus order for pre-order people, and then also available on iTunes later on. And
not convoluted at all.
No. And they recorded the audio and video of that concert, but nothing has ever been done with the video. It is lost to time. It's somewhere. No one knows where it is. But wait, there's more. The band also took the opportunity in the studio to record 3 of their songs, Easy, Wind It Up, and What a Letdown, in Simlish.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's right.
But wait, there's more.
This should have been called Everything to Everyone.
This should have been called Everything to Everyone.
That's true.
There were the video contests.
Yep. Wind It Up.
Yep. Easy, Wind It Up, and Sound of Your Voice all had video contests for their the fans send in their videos, and they were going to make it into part of the video. For Wind It Up, they wanted people to do air guitar submissions to make it into their official video. And then for Wind It Up, it never actually came to anything.
There was a video.
And there was a video, but it was never a fan-made video. It fell apart. And then The Sound of Your Voice was where they took all of the fan videos and made a specific fan video for that one. With so many ideas, and the band struggling to find a way to promote themselves accurately and effectively, and then just doing whatever came to mind, throwing spaghetti at the wall, this really ended up being like the Let It Be sessions for this band.
Gotcha.
It is just really, really sad that it was so convoluted, and they could have used a good management company at this time.
Someone to rein them in and just control the chaos.
Right. To just say, like, okay, you got 10 good ideas here. I don't hate any of them. Pick 5. We're just doing 5. And we're going to do 1 release.
Yeah, or like 2 at the most, right?
Right.
like a special edition, that's fine. But like we don't need 12 different versions.
Well, exactly. It's so confusing. And I was one of those people that went out and bought the pre-release. So I was like, I'm not worried about it. I've got it. But then the media kept coming in of like, now we're releasing this. Oh, is there something new? Oh, no, it's the same thing. And now we're releasing that. Nope, same thing I've already got. It was so exhausting.
I wonder why there were so many versions. Did they keep making a lot of small distribution deals or something?
I don't know. I think it was they all thought they had good ideas, and they all said, yeah, we'll do that.
Well,
yeah. And I think the other part is they had connected with Network at that time. And Network was also throwing some of these ideas out there, which were really great publicity ideas, like the USB stick and the video ideas, like all great ideas. But like Network was young. It was a fledgling company. It didn't last long, and I think it's because they didn't have anyone that was organizing and directing and keeping going.
Fair.
This is also the period of time, and so like number 13 on the list, that Ed was doing his podcasts while recording in the studio. He would come and do a podcast, then he'd go back into the studio, then come back out and do another podcast into the studio. So,
well, this during the Ed's Up time as well.
I think so. Actually, yes.
Yeah. crazy. That's a crazy amount of things going on.
Yeah, juggling a lot.
Yeah. And Kevin was making an album at this time
Yeah.
on his
Wow.
own. I think it was Miracle Mile at this point, or it might have been Mothball Mint.
Yeah.
And Jim was
Yeah.
making his own album with Brothers Cregan.
Yep. Damn. Wow.
And Steven was releasing Vanity Project.
Yeah.
Like they were super, super like creative and putting things out. But man, like no focus. It's like the whole band was
ADHD.
doing coke.
Yeah, well, at least one. We love you, Steve.
Yeah.
I also wanted to point out the name of the albums, Army. It was a pun.
Like Army.
Well, yeah, it was a pun on the Kiss Army idea. So Barenaked Ladies Army. And being big Kiss fans, that makes a lot of sense. And then I love the second pun. Well, Barenaked Ladies are men. Are they?
Me are men. Yes.
Not confusing at all.
So I like that. It was really cool album ideas, but yeah, they really were trying to be everything to everyone.
I legitimately do think this album should have been called.
Yeah,
especially if it was a double album, it had all
yeah.
content, like that just would fit so perfectly.
Yeah. Well, and so many different things that they were doing with this album with the songs. All right. So I'm going to start us off with our discussion of this album, officially, to say that I need to admit an error.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Oopsie.
No, you guys will be happy with this.
Okay.
In listening to this album repeatedly over the last 2 weeks, while I've been on vacation, I realized that I actually like I Can, I Will, I Do.
Yeah.
Of course you do. It's a really good song. What's not to like?
I mean, I gave it a 2.65.
But you really
Six.
Like it. You gave it a 6.
5. I would too.
It's like the amp that goes to 11.
I think it's 5 or something like that.
No, I gave it a 2.65 originally.
Yeah, there's 5. That's me.
And
wow. That's really
I'm gonna increase it. I really
nice.
It might have been the time of my life I was in at the time that we were discussing it. But it has grown on me over the last week. Matter of fact, the first time I heard it, I was like, why did I hate this?
Yeah, it's a great song.
Or not hate it, I just didn't like it.
Drank the haterade.
I'm increasing it to a 4.
Wow. Okay, nice.
I can't change it in the spreadsheet. It's all locked, but like I am letting it be known I'm in the mistake.
It's your spreadsheet, man.
Yeah, you have admin privs.
If I'm not going to let you guys do it, I'm not doing it for myself. That's not fair.
You're silly. You're a silly, silly man.
Well, my notes contain several updates for scores, so be ready for it.
Okay.
Whether you update them or not, they're coming your way.
Well, you know what? I will unlock it then and update them. So hold on.
Whoa, hey. Your powers of persuasion.
I rolled a nat 20.
And you had a +7 on top of it. I Can, I Will, I Do. I am increasing that to a 4. Oh, not like that. I'm rejoicing. Hold on. It didn't happen yet. Hold on. The spreadsheet is fighting me.
Fight back.
Now it's giving it a 54. Come on. There we go. Okay.
Hey.
I have officially changed it.
Good.
Brings the total score to 4.11. 11.
So my first question for you guys this week is, should this have been a double album?
Yes.
One single album with only the best songs, or 2 separate albums like they they did all of these. So, but what should it have been if they were doing one release?
Your favorite album, you should answer.
Yeah, that's a valid point. I've known it as a double album for so long that it's hard to think of it as anything other than that. But I mean, there are some that if they were picked off, I wouldn't mind. Some that I just didn't resonate with, and some that just kind of don't belong there. So, I mean, how do albums go in terms of like if you have like a longer than normal album? Is it called a certain like extended release or something or
No, it's just an
special
album
edition?
because like EP or extended play is paradoxically
Yeah,
just a few
shorter.
songs, but that's
Yeah.
because it's like instead of a single, so it'd be
Hmm.
like 4 or 5 songs instead of a single, and with
Hmm.
like a side, B side. But yeah, so you just call it an album. But I mean, yeah, I mean, so I'm curious. Like, think of it this way: when I think of like all-time great double albums, I obviously think of the White Album. I think of Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, and I think of The Wall. Like, those are my three. Like, when I think of the double albums, those are the three that I go to immediately. Would you, in your ideal world,
Hmm.
would this be like imagine yourself in it's the 90s. I know that this was released not in the 90s, but
Yeah,
imagine it's the 90s
2006,
and you're
2007.
going to Bull Moose or you're going to
Yeah.
Strawberries or wherever at the time, Sam Goody, and you're
Mhm.
going to get a CD. Is it a double CD that you're opening, that you're taking the plastic wrap off of, or is it a single one?
I'll let Betsy answer that first.
Yeah, yeah, no pressure.
I think it's still a double for me.
Yeah.
There's stuff I could tweak, but generally speaking, I mean, this just has a different feel and energy to it than a lot of
So a
the
double
other
album
albums.
with like 24, 25 songs,
Yeah.
maybe like
Even
12 from
29,
each.
like you can do 29. They did it. Like
Hmm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
now could you whittle off a few songs? I would say definitely there are some songs on here that I'd be like, yes, please get rid of that. I never listened to it anyways, so
Mhm.
why bother keep it on?
Mhm.
Um but I would have done it as a double album. Like it to me it would have worked. And I love the fact that it would have been like white and it has design on the front, but it's white, so
Yeah.
a nice little
Kind of a white
reminiscence.
album, yeah.
Props to Team Macho for the design.
I really do like
Yeah.
the cover. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not usually that into that kind of art, but I like it. It worked. Like
Mhm.
it, but again, it makes it feel like everything to everyone. Like they're trying to do
Yeah.
all of different.
I
Yeah. Cramming all the stuff in there.
that
Yeah.
is my answer to your question, Tracy. Is I believe this should have been released as a double album that was called Everything to Everyone. No, they would have. I mean, obviously, maybe they have a time machine or something. But yeah, if
Mhm.
you go back in time, what would we retroactively call Everything to Everyone if we renamed this?
Barenaked Ladies Army, which
Yeah,
goes
honestly,
ARMY?
because I mean, you need an army to sort through all those postcards that you're getting chimpanzees on.
well, and
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
there
what
are a
the
lot of
lower
political
levels
things that
do.
are on that one too.
Yeah,
So.
true. Yeah. I mean, honestly, and maybe that's the no, we're in the Berenstain timeline. So in the OG timeline that I split off from where it was Berenstain, I guess probably that was
If you ever
Bare
want to
Naked Ladies
remember,
Army, and this was Everything to Everyone.
if you ever want to remember, our timeline is a stain.
It's a
Yeah,
great stain. It
that's
is.
good.
We're living in the
Good way
worst,
to
the worst
remember
timeline. We're in the Hill Valley, the dark Hill
the
Valley.
the lone oaks, the lone
Yeah, yeah, the
pines.
Lone Pine Mall.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I agree. I would have had a double album, and I called the one before this Bare Naked Ladies Army Are Men.
Mhm.
So you got that double in there as well. You get the extra meanings, and this one is Everything to Everyone. Like that's a great name for a double album,
Yeah,
anyway.
I think
Mhm.
so.
And I think that this would have worked as a double album. I love
Yeah,
it.
for
So,
sure.
and we'll get to my reordering if it were a double album in a little bit, but I wanna go to my second question.
Mm.
Um, is if the band came to you and they said, you know what, we're only releasing a single normal length album, but we can't decide. We love all these songs. We can't decide what's going on it. We've done our usual like tallies, and it
Hmm.
keeps coming out with like 40 songs. So no, we can't do that. So you need to decide for us. You release the album. What songs would you pick for a single album, and what would be your singles off it?
Ooh, good question.
Betsy went first the last time, so it is only fair for
Oh, okay.
Aaron to go first this
Fair
time.
enough. Yeah, well, I actually did come prepared for this. Because I actually was thinking about that. Like, again, 90s kid, 80s, 90s kid, and like for me, I grew up in the era of dubbing on cassette tapes, but also burning CDs. And like I was that person who like mathematically calculated how can I fit as many songs as possible onto a CD. I'm going to go into Cool Edit and take out the last 3 seconds of this song and fade it out earlier so I can fit in one more song. I did that. So because I'm like 80 minutes or just 79, just below 80. Let's cram everything we can on here. So,
Mhm.
my first response was, "Oh, this will be easy because I just need to go in and look at the songs that I rated 4 or higher, since that's kind of how we delineate like
Yeah.
what would go in our best playlist." But the big question was, are there enough of those songs to fill a full-length album? And yes, actually, there are. And also, how did I not rate Angry People at least a 4? What was I doing?
I don't know.
Cocaine?
That's a great line.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm officially rescoring Angry People to a very solid 4.2 Angry People out of 5 because that's a great song and I'm really enjoying it. And it's actually also what I would start the album off with. It's got that woo
got a kick.
woo, it's kind of like going woo hoo like to start off the album. Now Down to Earth is another one that I think I didn't rate it as high as I would now, but it didn't quite make the cut. It's just on the cusp. I really like Down to Earth, but I'm gonna give it 3.9 satellites out of 5. But I felt like it was good enough that I should address it, even though I'm not putting it on my single best of album here. But you want to know what is a song that I will raise to a 4?
Tell me.
Beautiful. Because
Did you find that song beautiful?
I did.
Mhm.
I did. We got some other great songs. I mean, there's so many great songs in this album. Quality, I think, is one of the best songs Ed has written. Um, Another Spin, I think I liked it better than when I first heard it, but album's getting crowded. So let me go through my playlist here. Now, this is not necessarily any order except for 3 songs. Angry People, I would start off the album with. I would say Bank Job would be like my side 2 track 1 or side B track 1. So that's like the middle of the album. Bank Jobs, it's fun, it's playful, it's kind of like it's an interesting way to cleanse the palate and start a new track. And then Running Out of Ink, you have to end with Running Out of Ink because that song is just it's got such a glorious crescendo and it builds up to this amazing climax with these beautiful Beach Boy style backing vocals and like it just feels to me like how do you follow that? You can't. So like you have to end on it because who's gonna follow that? Everything's gonna. So that is it. But I did pick out it's 21 songs. I'll just very quickly run down them. So Angry People, Sound of Your Voice, Bull in a China Shop, Everything Has Changed, Maybe You're Right, Take It Back, Rule the World with Love, Wind It Up, Serendipity, Bank Job. Uh, whoop, I just whoopsies. Something You'll Never Find, Down to Earth. Oh, I did put Down to Earth on there. Okay, it did. It made the cut. Beautiful, Maybe Not, I Can, I Will, I Do, Fun and Games. I did put the new Sad on there because you know me. I'm a very goth boy. Quality, What a Letdown, Why Say Anything Nice, and then again Running Out of Ink, which probably my favorite song on the album. I adore that song. One thing I know,
looking at this album
yeah,
and looking at your scores that you had, because I'm
yeah.
sitting here, I have them on a different spreadsheet and I'm looking through them. I am shocked that this album didn't rank higher on your list.
I was
but
thinking that.
I think it's a couple of them that really kind of brought it down.
Yeah, there's a couple that I rated lower that I didn't include on this list, and then I want to say that like the quality of these songs is just consistently high. It's got a really high floor. I don't think I rated any of these songs a 5, although I might put an asterisk next to Running Out of Ink because man, I love that song. And I love how unhinged Steve is on the vocals. It's so
Oh
great.
yeah.
But yeah, it's it's just consistently good. It's like there are very few like song. I had trouble paring it down to fit an 80-minute runtime, and I ended up with 79 exactly. Wow. So I could burn this onto a CD, which is exactly what I was hoping to shoot for. So that is my answer for my playlist. But I'm very interested to hear Betsy and yours.
Well, I didn't kind of
I apologize in advance, Betsy, for forcing you to bastardize your favorite
Yeah, it's her
albums.
favorite
I
album.
know.
So
Just chop it up and turn it into a Frankenstein's monster.
I mean, we did that with Maroon, and I understand the pain that it causes because it was
Yeah.
painful for me all week long. Going, how can I ruin perfection?
I ruined it. So I do think some of the songs like Peterborough and the Kawarthas, Kawartha Stewart.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is almost more of a kid's album to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think Everything Had Changed has kind of like that mysterious, jaunty sound that could have been on Singer Must Die for Stephen Page, but of course, obviously it's B&L, it's not Stephen Page, but still, I think mood-wise, it would fit.
Yeah, but if they had left it off this and decided not to release it, he could easily have been like, all right, fine, I'll do it over here.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned Running Out of Ink because like at first it feels like, oh man, another song about writer's block, but it's not. It's not just about writing. And so I kept that. There's a couple that I didn't really just, jive for me. So Wind It Up was kind of like meh. I already moved two songs to different albums, so then maybe not. I was like, that it's kind of also
Maybe not.
it's kind of iffy, not bad, but not great. And then Why Say Anything Nice, I was also kind of meh about. So that leaves still a significant amount. I definitely have some favorites, but so that would probably only clip it down. I think I only ended up cutting off like 20 minutes or something like that.
Did you leave Serendipity on it?
I did.
Interesting. Yep. Okay, because I know that was down in your down in the threes.
I wouldn't have it as an opener.
Mm.
I do like Angry People as an opener.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the best one there for an opener, just because it's
got that
energy wise,
yeah.
but also it's kind of like a almost like an invited sing along with the easy kind of entry into it. I don't know. Maybe I could cut half a heart, get a quarter. Another spin. I don't know. I'm really hesitant to cut songs or move songs that are like Jim or Kevin, because I want them to get their airplay too. But
yeah, I literally wrote that in my notes. I was like, oh man, I don't want to like. Yeah, you feel bad because you're like, yeah.
Well, yeah,
or something. Yeah,
it'd be like cutting Octopus's garden. Think of Ringo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
and
I hear what you're saying. Like, there were very few songs that I was like, yeah, that needs to go. Absolutely, like that's a low song. I need to get rid of that and do it fast.
Yeah, and sometimes like the merit of the song isn't solely the song itself, it's sometimes the discussions we have around the song, like what a letdown. I might have cut ordinarily, but because of the whole discussion we have.
Oh, the Cowboy Breakfast.
Yeah, now that's a special place in my heart. So now
you're right though, because
we're renaming that song to Cowboy Breakfast.
When I went to listen to it, I started laughing precisely because of that.
I know.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's all about the memories from around as well as the song. So, but there's just so many different moods and shifts and topics and tempos, and even in the ones that like I didn't rate as high, like I can't cut them because they're too witty or catchy, but maybe it was just kind of like a little duller feeling, but there were still, the elements of the Barenaked Ladies there that I love. So it's just, can't cut it.
Yeah.
It's hard to cut. Yeah. So
That's fair. I mean, it's your favorite album. I would
yeah.
expect that,
Yeah,
Exactly.
of course, it's my favorite album because I get to have two albums. The indecisive person.
Such a bisexual.
Yeah, I know, right? Hello. If I have to keep proving it over and over, I will.
No, Indecisive is a Stephen Page song. We haven't gotten to that yet.
Indecision.
Oh,
I know. I was trying to.
yeah. You shoe.
Ah, man. I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Not in my house.
Call you out on that shit.
All right. Well, why don't I do mine? I'm not going to do an order on this because I did an order on the double album. So we'll get to that. But I did a really simple thing, sort of like what you were saying, Aaron. I did anything that was a 4 went on the single. And so I had 16 songs.
Wow.
That made it on.
Brutal. He cut 13.
He's like hacking with a machete through
the bobbit over there.
Wow.
Topical. Hey kids, you hear about this?
Yeah, you guys know about this. This is recent.
You hear about this Lorena Bobbitt thing?
I think Weird Al saying something about it.
To Bobbitt. Yes. All right.
So I kept Sound of Your Voice. Bull in a China Shop. Running Out of Ink. Yes, there's a pattern going here. I Can, I Will, I Do. I did keep some Ed songs. I promise I did keep some Ed songs. Take It Back.
So defensive.
Adrift. Everything Had Changed. Wind It Up.
I can feel the energy coming off of you.
It's just that there's this girl that I watched that she has Tourette's syndrome, and one of her tics is wind it up.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Here, that's what I think of.
Wow.
Yeah. You're like, it annoys me now.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's okay.
Rule the World with Love.
Great one.
Down to Earth. Quality. Beautiful. Fun and Games. And Angry People. Maybe You're Right. And Maybe Not.
I like how you ended
I appreciate the order.
Maybe you're right. Talk about indecision, right?
Since do you guys have a reorder? I have a reorder. I've got it set up. So we'll go through mine in a minute, but do you guys have a reorder that you want to go on for this? I know, Aaron, you kind of already.
Yeah, for me, it was just the opener, the kind of Act 2 opener, and then the closer, So, Angry People, Bank Job, and Running Out of Ink. I think they were, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I would release those as my singles too. Because, it's certainly Running Out of Ink. I think they're all kind of different. They're all kind of quirky. Like if you release those 3 songs in the course of a few months as singles, we don't really have the same kind of atmosphere around music that we used to, the same kind of environment where that's not really a thing that happens so much anymore. But like, if you put those out and people are paying attention, I would just think it would give a kind of a really good, it would cast a wide net and be like, okay, this band's really versatile. Here's some really different kind of songs that they're doing, and maybe that's something I want to check out. So that would be kind of my strategy.
Yeah, no, I agree. And those songs were not like other songs you would have heard on the radio in 2005.
Oh yeah, none of them sound like One Week. None of them sound like Another Postcard. None of them sound like
Thank God.
Yeah, but or even like It's All Been Done, whatever. Which I love that song, but like these songs don't sound like that. Bank Job is like completely unique. I don't think they have another song that sounds like Bank Job at all. So yeah, I always have appreciated. That's one thing that as I've been privy to these conversations and listening to these songs and analyzing them, one of the things that I have really appreciated is the scope, the ground that they cover. How many different influences you can hear. Everything from jazz to funk to hip hop sometimes. It's just really cool. It's really cool to see a band have that kind of a broad range. And I do feel like, and this is something I guess from personal experience, before I really dived into their catalog, before I was introduced, before really Tracy, you introduced me to stuff like Brian Wilson, I was not really as familiar with it. And I just kind of thought of them as the 1 week band. And I feel like probably there are still probably a lot of people out there who just think of them as the 1 week band. And they're so much more than that, so it's really cool.
I absolutely agree.
So much more. Give him a chance.
And I think this is kind of one of the things that is important to kind of point out is this is why what you had just said is why I was so upset when Steven left the band.
Mm-hmm.
Because he brought influences to the band that would not have been there and weren't there once he left. And the direction that he has gone with his music is much more in my palette than where B&L has gone with their music since the separation.
Yeah, I mean, like,
was that a Canadian way of saying that?
Well, I'm trying to draw a comparison. I keep coming back to Pink Floyd because I would like to say, like, I'd like to use the Beatles and say that Steven is Lennon and Ed's McCartney, but I think Steven is Roger Waters and Lennon. Yeah, Steven as Roger Waters and Ed as David Gilmour is probably a better comparison because I like The Division Bell is a great album. I still like post Roger Waters Pink Floyd, but man, do I miss the era where you had like Roger Waters like angsty, really kind of weirdly dark at times stuff, and that was being balanced out by Gilmour's like more pop sensibilities and like bluesy stuff. And I feel the same here. So yeah, I would say that I prefer what I've heard, and I'm really excited to dive into more of it. But what I've heard of Stephen Page's solo work, I would prefer that to the majority of what I've heard in the latter day B&L, as I like to call them.
And another good example, I think, is Genesis. The pre-Genesis.
I'm a Peter Gabriel dude. You know that.
The Peter Gabriel Genesis, the post Peter Gabriel Genesis, and then the Peter Gabriel by himself,
the solo stuff
are significantly different, and none of it's bad. It's just incredibly different.
I mean, we've said this, but I love Phil Collins' era Genesis, and I like Phil Collins' solo work too. But like, I prefer the kind of prog rock stuff that the Peter Gabriel Genesis did, and I prefer Peter Gabriel's solo stuff to Phil Collins' solo stuff and his. Except In the Air Tonight, you got to make an exception. That's a banger. Yeah. But I mean, I think Peter Gabriel, he was a little more kind of experimental. He brought a little bit more of again, like a prog rock, like a progressive rock kind of like art rock style to it. And that appeals to me.
Yeah. Well, and once he left, that left with him. Like that was no longer a part of who Genesis was. They went much more poppy.
Right.
And the same thing kind of with B&L. And once Steve left, they went much more poppy and kind of leaned really heavily on Ed's direction for the band, and with the flavors of the other guys kind of coming in. And so I miss having Steve's influence in there. And it makes me sad because we're going to be discussing nothing but post Steven pretty soon here. And I'm kind of sad about that. I'm glad that we did alphabetical to start with, because it would have killed me to have lost Steven.
Yeah, just like go through. Oh yeah, that would have been a lot.
I know that It's All Been Done podcast did that, and it was hard for them. They were like, "Can we go back and recover the albums we already covered?"
This is significant loss. Yeah.
All right. Well, would you guys like to hear the order of my double album?
Yes.
Do it. Wow.
We share our brain.
All right, share the sound. Let's go over to Kuba's because as
Oh
I've
yes.
done before. Oops, that's not the right window. Let's try that again.
Kuba's.
As I've done,
Did you get the free version, the Cuba's Libre?
I still have Kuba's Libre. Thanks to Pantheon Podcast Network.
Did you get it from King Kuba's?
That's what they should have.
I hear they've collaborated with Cuba Stank.
Ah,
Nice.
Anyway, don't
so I
encourage
went over into Kuba's and I created my list of what I would have had this sound like had I released this.
Wish you a Merry Christmas.
Wait, what? Where? Oh,
we're on the spreadsheet now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why is it showing that? It should not be
I don't
showing the
know.
spreadsheet. Hold on. It's showing the wrong-
Ooh, I saw your spreadsheet, sir, and it was scandal.
Wow, that sheet is a
Wait,
little too
chicken-
spread, if you
chicken
ask me.
Chicken little on there. My God.
You should be seeing my Kuba's screen now.
It says Pornhub.
Only
No, that's only
Well-
plans. It's a dessert website.
I guess we can watch this.
my God.
Any guesses of what I'm starting off this album with?
Well,
It won't be your song, Aaron.
yeah, I was gonna say
No.
we're typically
Hold on.
we're typically not in agreement with this. So, yeah, what do we think? What do we think?
Something you'll never find. I had that as a potential opener, but
I know he likes to open with a bouncy one.
Mm-hmm.
Angry
Wind it
Christmas?
up.
No.
This was mean. You're never gonna get it.
No, hold on, give me a second.
Rule the world with love.
Mhm.
Let's just go through them all.
Think of other songs also released at this same exact period of time.
Not on the album?
Not
Wait.
on the album.
Oh,
They did not
that's why we're
include
not.
it.
Oh, dude, come on.
This is the only song that I included on here that did not show on the album originally.
How's the level?
I saw one little slip on your other screen there.
It is one little slip.
Yeah.
They had a song from a movie at this point. That's where people would have, especially the people that were just brand new coming to the band, would have heard them.
I see.
This is my catch. I'm gonna get the people going with it and get people like wanting to listen, and we'll go from there.
Do you think that would be a great song for like a sex ed class for high school? One little slip, and you can get a little chicken little. Pluck her out of your house.
Nice. I'm then gonna. Did you see that? What the next one is?
No.
I'm moving from Chicken Little.
That was quick.
That was almost
Chicken-
that was a level
chicken,
short.
Yeah. Chicken micro. Mm.
To sound
like
of your
that.
voice.
I like that.
I feel like melodically it works,
Yeah, I think those two go well together.
and it's a nice, good opener. Nice, strong guitars to begin with.
Mhm.
And I like having a somewhat Kevin sounding song to start it off.
That's one of them I actually preferred Kevin doing the lead vocals on versus Steve.
Mm.
Steve did a good job, but I like Kevin singing it, and I like it when they do it at a concert a cappella. It's really
nice.
good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really
I
because
can
they
see
all
that.
crowd in on the microphone. It's really cute. Yeah, it's very nice, very nicely done.
My only problem, well, one of my major problems with this album is Kevin's songs starting off this album, but they're the soft ones. They're the like
Mhm.
easygoing, relaxing ones.
Yeah,
I'm like,
well,
no,
that's
they,
Kevin.
what
Kevin
do you
doesn't have any rage.
sound of your voice. Like it's a really good 60s kind of rocker that I love. I think it brings some good energy to start it off with. And why are you starting off this album slow when you can really catch people? Then you can kind of slow it down a little bit.
Ease into it.
Ah, nice one.
That is where I am going.
Nice and easy. Like a Sunday morning.
but we don't want it to go too easy too early. So we gotta slow it down, but then we gotta pick it back up again. Is that too loud on your end, by the way? We got Bull in a China Shop. So once again, picking up the speed, kicking in with Kevin's organs still.
Ooh.
Always love Kevin's organs.
Scandalous.
Love hearing Kevin's organs.
I like to start my day off with Kevin's organs.
Yeah, I mean,
Best part of waking up.
is...
Something skin flute joke.
Oh, God.
From Kevin's organs from Bull in a China Shop. Oops, hold on.
Back to one little slip. You're gonna put that in
like
again.
I'm gonna put it in again. Exactly. Stop! Silly thing.
As Kevin's organ fades out.
Kevin's organ had a malfunction.
Is it better to burn out of Oh yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I'm always happy to hear this song.
I think that Kevin's organ was running out of ink.
Whoa!
Oh no. Well, he was playing it pretty hard, so.
No, I think that running out of ink is a nice follow-up to Bull in a China Shop. Keeps the energy going. We keep getting to hear Steven. I tried to bounce back and forth as much as I could between Steven and Ed's voice. But there are a few more Steven songs.
It's a pretty Steven heavy album.
But after we're done running out of ink, I have to make my apologies.
Then you go to
Say it again.
Staples for a return. You can see him walking into Staples with his empty cartridge.
Running out of ink, yeah.
Ink, take it back.
Back, please.
We've had a couple of rockers. Time to slow it down again a little bit. And I did find that there are a lot more slow songs or quirky songs on this double album than there normally would be on an album. So I had to do a lot of blending.
Yes.
Great song. So glad that you updated your score.
Let him sing.
Friend, this shouldn't be the way things end.
Really kind of taking it down a notch.
Well, it might take it down a notch for you, but for me, it's.
I mean, just kind of in the speed.
He's just got like that really close to the microphone sound, and it's just really.
Have a heart, Tracy.
Singing into
half a heart.
Maybe half of one, yeah.
Half a heart.
I mean, Steven is giving his heart in this song. And then we're going like, you know what? Ed's just going to throw it on the floor and stomp on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a nice blend, one to the next.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get that very often.
No.
It's just something you'll never find.
You don't. Yeah.
So we're picking it up again, we're getting some more energy. But again, there's a lot of slow songs on this, so I have to mix more slow in than I normally would. But I like the way the last song kind of fades out, which leads nicely into this, so it's not abrupt. You kind of feel like you're drifting into it. And as we drift out of this song, we'll find that not much has changed.
Except for everything.
Everything for everyone.
And again, it's just this nice soft end to one song, soft beginning to the next, but has some darker tones. So we're going to change it up a little bit and get a different feel. And that really different feel.
That bowed bass and the
into mandolin
and
on the
mandolin.
path of life. I wish you well. Strange, everything had changed. Everything.
When I hear that song, I think of like New Orleans on a steamy summer evening. You're stepping out, and it's just kind of humid and hot, but you got a drink in your hand.
Yeah. And
like
you know what you see a lot of
gas
in New Orleans?
lanterns are illuminating the fog around. It's pretty cool. Sorry, what were you saying?
I said, do you know what you see a lot of in New Orleans?
Whatever the next song is.
You see a lot of magicians.
No, are they vanishing?
They are vanishing.
Vanishing.
Or they're varnishing.
Varnishing.
No, they're vanishing.
And as that one vanishes out, we need to end this album on a really upbeat note. You know, we need to wind it up.
New sad.
And then that's the end of album one. Now,
but wait, there's more.
Yes.
But wait, there's
more.
All right, so here's the tricky part. On this next album, there are two songs that sound exactly the same. I don't know if you've ever picked it up before, Betsy, but as I was listening to the songs this week, listening to them back to back, I'm like,
there is. I'm trying to remember which ones.
What the hell? How do these two songs exist on one album? Like, why would they do that? If you're going to do something like that, you need to have
they did that too with when they were performing live. They had a Alternative Girlfriend and another one that started the same.
Yeah.
Was it Alcohol? I think it was Alcohol and
it might have been
Alternative
Alcohol.
Girlfriend. Yeah.
I mean, both the same author.
Yeah. Anyway.
So if you're going to have something like that on an album, you got to bookend them. And I was like, well, this is a great opportunity to bookend these two songs on the last album. And as I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, how am I going to work that? How does this, how do I go about bookending these two songs? We'll get to the second one later on, but I felt like this one had to start the album. Even though that's the best starter, I feel like you have to start this one with the album because the other one has to end the album for reasons I'll be getting into at the very end. So the first one I'm starting off this part of the album with is Why Say Anything Nice?
Shoes on if you didn't come to dance.
Not the fastest song to start off an album with, but it's still a banger. It doesn't rule all the songs, but it rules them with love.
Yes.
And I like the idea of going into a political song almost off the bat. Like, okay, we're not gonna hide the fact that we're gonna do something a little political here.
Beatles.
Very
Dude.
topical.
Yeah.
But we need to get a little bit weird.
Yay! I was waiting
Freaky
for
with
it.
bang job.
I do like having this in the prime spot, in the
It
single
was an upset.
spot.
In 2 minutes flat, we're back on the freeway. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
And those ending harmonies are very heavenly, and so now we kind of need to bring it back down to earth.
Getting gritty. Getting dirty.
Some people are just all show. Well, I don't mind her when you don't know what it's worth. Now you really wanna show her how she's just so down to earth by satellite.
All right, now we need Steve to bring it home.
Yeah, that's a different note.
Oh, they're bringing it home.
Fast song.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's a one-word
Really,
song.
it's like partial word.
Yeah.
It's just a sound.
That song was meant to be followed up by something a little stronger. It was almost like it was serendipity. Again, it picks up the pace just a little bit from where we left off the last one, but it has Kevin's nice melodic singing, and so it still feels like we're easing into it. And when you have that nice transition, it's just quality.
Yeah.
Yes, Jeff.
And I like how that song starts off kind of slow, but then it slowly builds as it's going along. But again, we need to slow it down a little bit because we have a lot of slow songs, and this one's just beautiful.
Yeah.
This song sounds like it belongs on Maroon.
You know, they put this as a background to a skating routine.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Yeah, with Scott
and it actually
Portano.
worked really, really well. It was beautiful. It was very good.
It was really cute and beautiful.
Very fitting, yeah.
I don't know. I really like the different beat that they're giving that one. I kept this next one on there. I kept all the songs on there. I want to hear a little Jim. It's nice. It's sweet. Like, if it follows up beautiful, you're not getting staggered by hearing something like way off kilter. In the original place that it was, it felt like, I mean, you went from everything had changed to Peterborough, and you're like, oh, whoa, what the hell just happened?
Everything did
some
change.
gears, yeah.
So I like the idea of having it follow up really slowly, and then we get our staggering change to kind of to kick things back off for the second half of this album. And there's kind of a theme to the end of this album where we're focusing on emotions and politics. And so, you know, we have fun and games where we're going to get really political. And then after we're getting done political, we're going to talk about how we would feel after a war.
Everybody knows knows that happy is the new sad. So I am gonna go and imitate my old dad and never crack a smile again.
I love that line.
Mhm.
I really do.
It's very well crafted.
It is.
And the end of this song is just so interesting that it's just that one kind of Starry-scape melody kind of leading off,
Mhm.
leading us into.
You're going through the different stages.
Yeah, you go from sad to...
We went from being sad to being angry.
Oh, Tracy.
Are you reading my screen?
No, I just love what you're doing with the going through
Because
the
after we get really angry and we've spent all that energy.
Oh, have you seen the choreographed dance to this?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
so good. They're like kicking each other.
That's right.
Oh, I love the
watched it on
choreograph.
the
Fight
radio
scene.
shows on the show. And Steve's running around like a madman.
Oh, like the jets.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
Like the sharks and the jets.
Yeah.
After you have all that energy from being mad, it's what a letdown.
Even if I let this settle, it'll lead to a little fight. Even when I get too many.
That intro, by the way, definitely was inspired by Within You Without You by the Beatles.
For that, what was that?
I
Then?
was with...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
100%.
So after What a Letdown, I almost cut this next song, but I'm like, I know there are people that like this next song. So I kept it in. I couldn't really find a good place for it. It's kind of got the placeholder place toward the end of the album.
Hey, pass the ball.
I like the drums on it,
Why
like the
do
time
you
signature. I like
run it in
that it's a little
circles?
screwy.
See, I hated that when
I know
we
you do.
discussed
I know,
it.
Tracy. I know.
But as I sat there and I
4-4.
thought about it, because I listened to it a lot this week to find the place for it, and I figured out in listening to it, the beat isn't what upsets me. Because once the guitars come in and offset the beat and play off that beat, and it makes it a more normalized rhythm, I'm totally okay with it. Matter of fact, I really like it. I think my problem with it is it's starting off with just Ed and the beat. And I think if it just started off with Ed's voice and then the guitars and then the rhythm.
There are so many Radiohead songs I could play for you that would make you very angry.
No, yeah, no. Whenever I listen to Radiohead,
I guarantee it.
Tracy would hate this.
Like, wait, where's one? Where's one?
That is what
like to
annoys
play
me
with
with
you.
this, is because
Yeah.
he's playing off the beat. I'm like, my head.
I enjoy that, but I'm a jazz cat.
That's why I kept it in there, though, because I was like, I know there are
appreciate
people
you,
out there
Boo.
that love it. And I do like that ending, and especially the harmonies. It almost made me want to give it another spin.
Oh.
Squeaky chair in the background.
I had time to kill.
I had time to kill. Done. We're done.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you did have time to kill.
So the end of my album, there is an amazing pun that was made in the making of this album that was once again left on the cutting room floor.
From two different albums.
Well, I mean, they're not. If it's a double album, if you're making a double album, you have to put these songs back to back. I mean, they don't sound the same.
There's no rules, Tracy. There's no rules anymore.
You can't leave these two songs apart when you have this working the way it does.
Not when you have OCD, you can't.
You know what? Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
I like how the piano fades out of this one. And then with Maybe You're Right coming in.
I love that song. Yeah. Maybe not. I don't like as much, but Maybe You're Right is kind of a banger.
It was often talked about, it was often raised, but nothing was ever done about it.
I'm going to stop it there before I play the whole entire song.
No,
I
know.
really love that song.
I really do.
I really like how that one slowly comes in after another spin. And yeah, the end of this with the horns, just I can listen to this
Play it
over and over again. If BNL does another concert with an orchestra backing them and they don't do that song,
yeah,
you'll be
missed opportunity.
I had to go from Maybe You're Right into Maybe Not. Like, I had to go with the pun.
The allure of the pun is strong.
But I also had to finish with this song for another reason. Because the first lines of this song make it have to be an ender.
Pretty soon you will be wanting me to go, and I will only be the enemy, you know. Pretty soon you will be needing me to leave.
If that isn't your finishing song.
Well, for the last album that you're doing with Stephen Page.
Yeah, that's pretty poignant.
No.
That's what I was thinking. I thought you were doing that. I thought that's what you were talking about. Yeah, because it seems like kind of like a
foreshadowing,
a Dear John letter.
Yeah,
it really does. But you can't tell me that song does not sound like Why Say Anything Nice.
Yeah. It's a little slow that's a little slower one.
Yeah, they took it down like a half. And that's it.
And
even the organs, like that. I'm like, oh, come on.
It's not their fault, Tracy. They were running out of ink.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I just turned into that ostrich from Family Guy.
So yeah, that's my double album.
Barenaked.
I listened to it after I put it together. I've been listening to it in the car ride, and I'm like, you know what? Nothing shocks me. Nothing like startles me and makes me say, "Oh, why did I do that?" You know. So
are you talking about your driving or the...
No, not the driving. No,
not the driving. Yeah.
No, my driving will startle anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like this new album, and you know, if people don't want to disagree, go out there, listen to it on Kubas, and see if you agree or disagree.
How do you spell that?
QOBUZ.
BUZ. Okay.
I really came to like this album as I was listening to it this week. I mean, I still have a few songs on it that dropped down my rating on it, but I really like this album. And I think
it's one of my favorites for sure. Like one of my favorite BNL albums.
It is my documented favorite.
It is a matter of public record.
I think it was just mismanaged. Like the way they released it and then starting off the album with Adrift and Bank Job. I love those songs, but they're just not album starters. Especially if you're like, oh, we haven't been around for 3 years. Here we are. Adrift.
It's all a bit manic, yeah.
And then we're gonna go into another slow one with Bank Job.
It's kind of like driving in New York City where you're like
Yeah, let's stop and start. Little whiplash.
riding the brake.
Yeah. So I think
So-
that they should have definitely rearranged this album, even if My Way's not the right way. Like the way they released it was not the right way either.
Yeah. There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And next week we get to discuss the last Stephen Page. I don't want to say it. The last Stephen Page album.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jesse.
we're and it's Aaron's favorite album of all time.
Oh. Oh, why couldn't
Whoa,
last?
snack
Oh man.
time.
Yeah. Well, Tracy, I'm gonna be calling in sick for the rest of the year.
He's allergic to snack time.
Yeah, something in that snack time
The peanuts.
disagreed with me. Yeah, that little allergic reaction.
I mean, there is
Shellfish.
a song about allergies
That's
on
true.
it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Mm.
They warned me.
And I suppose if you're having allergies, you're going to have a bad day.
Or if you're Daniel Powder, you could
I got
also
the
be
Aaron
having-
eye roll.
I was just thinking, is there any way we can make a Pollywog and a Bug reference? That's gonna be my snack time. Just that
Yeah.
song.
That sounds like
Over
you might
and
get at an
over.
Irish pub, right? If you ask for a Pollywog and a Bug,
Pollywog and a Bug, mate.
an Irish pub, because there's Toad in a Hole, right?
Toe in the hole.
Is that like a
There's,
cowboy
Butch
breakfast?
Rocket.
It's like a cowboy breakfast gone
Better than
wrong.
that.
I don't think that's ordering off the menu for sure.
That's frog legs, but
Yeah.
ooh,
Oh,
that's when you do it with a Frenchman.
ooh. Oh, je te l'ai.
Zut alors.
Je te l'ai.
Je t'adore, I don't care.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre
Les poissons.
Tabernacle.
So thank you guys for joining me on discussing the last Stephen Page album that is official.
Yeah.
Deep breaths. We're gonna make it through this.
We're gonna make it through. We're gonna see more Stephen Page.
Exactly.
You'll have to talk
That's
to him in
the
April.
light at the end of the tunnel.
And it's not an oncoming train.
All right. Well, you guys have a great week. It's been great seeing you. Aaron, have a good trip. Be safe.
Thank you. Yeah. We'll
Have
see
a
you
nice
next
trip, though. See you in the fall.
time.
Don't fall off the side
Don't
stripe.
fall. Yeah, don't
Stay
fall
on the
though.
sky.
Platform. Mind the
I'll
gap.
do
Mind
my
the gap.
best. I'll do my level
If
best.
you fall, not when I fall, please.
Yeah. No
thanks.
skyscrapers for you.
Thanks, Tracy. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.